Hello everyone and welcome to 5 easy ways to make credits in Star Wars The Old Republic. This is taken into account update 3.0 and we are going to look at the 5 easy ways to make credits. Now some of these will involve cash shops, some of these will involve gameplay, but we're just looking at easy methods. We're not really going to look into the crafting too much, but we are going to look at ways that are easy, you know, because crafting takes a bit of work. You need to invest a lot of credits to reverse engineer things to learn the purple versions of it. So again, it is a difficult thing, and this is just an easy way. So the number one method that we're going to tell you is to buy and sell a hyper crate from the cartel market. Now bear in mind that there is a 36-hour cooldown on a hyper crate if you buy it from the cartel market, but it is the most effective method of making credits. Essentially, it will cost you real money. Now, it is about, what are they, $25 for a hyper crate. It is a big investment for a hyper crate, you could argue, but it is the greatest single return. All you have to do is buy it, wait the cooldown to come off, and then sell it. They generally sell, depending on the server, between 5 to 10 million credits, and the best time to do this is when a brand new hypercrate is launched. It is the best method, is just to sell the hypercrate, because they're always in demand. Usually when they first launch, a few days after it, a lot of people are listing them, and that's when the demand is at the highest. So you maybe get between, look, about 5 or 10 million. I last sold one, I think it was about 8.5 million I got for it. So it depends on the server, but do your research first about hypercrates before you take the plunge and buy one. Another method for using the hypercrate is to open the hypercrate. This is what I do a lot of the time. I open it and I will sell, say, 12 of them, because a hypercrate is 24 cartel packs, if you don't know what it is. Sell 12 of the cartel packs. It's an easy return. The packs sell for between 3 and 400k a pop, so you can return a decent amount of money. And what you do is open the other 12 and you might get something good. It is a bit more of a gamble than just selling the hypercrate, because you might get some really good things. I remember getting a couple of Sarlacc pit revive items, out of combat revive items, and well, out of combat regen items, I should say, and they sold for like 1.5 million each. So I did make about 4 or 5 million from selling the 12 packs, and then I made, you know, another extra 3 million. So sometimes you might make more. You might make between 5 and 15 million, say, but it is a gamble. It is a gamble. You might get a bunch of crap. There is that risk. We're selling the hypercrate for 8 million. Yeah, you might get more if you do that, but again, it's just a sure thing. Generally, when the hypercrate launches, again, when it launches, because all the armors and things that you get when the hypercrate launches, they're in high demand because people see them and they want them, and that drives the prices up. So that is the best time to sell the armors, the mounts, if you get mounts. If you get lucky and get a mount and get a cool mount and sell it, again, it will make you a reasonable amount of credits. The hypercrates themselves are just the actual packs are guaranteed money. Again, look at the prices before you sell them. You want to be the lowest price. Generally, it's between 3 to 400k. Sometimes it dips below 300k. But if you're selling them at the lowest price, you're guaranteed. It's guaranteed money in the end. I sell about 12 of them, and I sell them all in 10 minutes. If I'm the cheapest, generally, just after they go on sale. It is important that you time it right as well. It's important to get the timing right and get it on sale at the right time. The other method, we're going to talk about number 2 now. Number 2 is, again, you're going to need slicing for this, and it is to use the slicing on Yavin 4. Basically, you're going to go to Yavin 4 and go and slice the coffers, the what is it, concealed coffers or something like that. You're going to go and slice them. Now, they are located in a number of locations. They are mostly located in the area in the center, where the Devoted Ones daily quest is. That's where you're going to go there, and also where the Altars of History, that daily quest, is there, near the Temple of Sacrifice entrance. It's quite near to that, where all the Massassi kind of hang out, near a big sort of temple thing, where when you meet story spoiler, Revan's ghost, so that's a story spoiler there. When you meet that's that, around that area. Just go around in a little lap type thing. Do laps, and again, you're gonna have to wait maybe until the servers are quiet because you're gonna get a lot of people doing the same thing. You need 451 slicing, but this will return you an average of between 400,000 and 700,000 credits per hour. It is a very reliable method of making credits because there are tons of these things and they're on a very short spawn timer. So again, just doing laps around the area and grabbing them. You'll often see a lot of bots trying this, but my advice is to try it late at night and to try it in a low population instance. Like if the instance has a lot of people in it, change instance. Look at the instance population and look at the number of instances. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze here. nearly. But not quite. Yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit of the again transfer to a low population instance. I tend to do this like early in the morning, about maybe 2 in the morning or something like that is a good time to do that when the server's quiet. And you know, you don't want to be doing this at peak time. So again, you can return between 400 and 700 per hour. It's a pretty nice return for not doing a lot. You can also do the dailies. They'll net you about 100k for doing the dailies. And also the weekly quest, you can get net a couple of credits, and selling off the rep items. If you again have max rep, you can just sell them off for some extra credits as well. So if you add that into your daily rotation, you do need 451 slicing is the minimum you need to slice to open them, to open the concealed coffers. But again, it is a nice return. And if you do happen to get a missions, if you get the purple missions, I would sell them on the GTN as well. They are going to bring in some extra money. So you might, if you get a couple of missions, which are quite rare drops, you know, you get a diplomacy mission, 500 diplomacy, because those missions usually have a very good chance to drop purple mats, and purple mats are quite high in demand. So a lot of people either buy the purple mats or they'll buy the missions. The missions will sell pretty well on the GTN. You can sell them on the GTN. So they go for, again, a reasonable amount. So you might make over 1 million in some hours, you might not. So we'll move on to number 3, and that is to do the old level 50 HM flashpoints. There's 2 basic reasons for doing this. 1, you get a reasonable amount of credits from killing the trash. It's not too many, but 2, you get black hole gear. That's what drops from the bosses. Now, black hole gear sells to the vendor, because you can't sell it on the GTN, unfortunately. It sells to the vendor between sort of 7 and 11k per piece, so you're gonna return quite a nice amount of money. You get about maybe 3 or 4 black hole pieces per run. I mean, we're not suggesting, they're pretty easy, but I'm not suggesting you do something hard like Lost Island. If you do something like the Essalus, which is nice and quick and easy, again, they're pretty easy to solo, to be honest with you. They shouldn't, most classes, most specs shouldn't have any problems soloing this content. So again, pretty easy. And also don't forget to take the daily as well. You get the flashpoint daily for a level 50 HM flashpoint. Pick it up from the mission terminal, and again, it'll net you 20 basic comms and 16k extra credits on top of that. So again, you can make a good few credits. It's not going to reward you as much as the slicing on Yavin 4, but it is going to be a regular income. If you think about each black hole piece as being like a daily quest, and you just vendor it, because you get about 7k for doing a daily quest, you get 7k for the black hole piece. You know, it's not a bad return for just selling maybe 3 or 4 of them. So, you know, they add up in the end, and you get your daily done as well, which is nets you good basic comms and a good chunk of credit. 16k for a daily ain't bad. It ain't bad for a single quest, actually. So you maybe make maybe 50 to maybe 70k per run. Again, it's not going to get hugely rich, but it is easy. It is very easy to get gold, credit, should we say, not gold. We're not playing World of Warcraft. So we'll move on to number 4. Now, number 4 is to trade your Jawa junk. Again, this is a cartel market method. If you do get Jawa junk, is to trade it for the grade 11 purple crafting materials. Now, depends on the server, depending on demand, which is going to sell better. So you may have to do a little bit of research. Generally, the slicing ones tend to sell for quite high, because they are used in the creation of the 186 augments. So they tend to sell for quite a premium. It depends on your server, though. I would do some research into the purple crafting material, but again, you can trade the Jawa junk. We used to do this with the old slot machine. It used to be very profitable, actually, because we get hundreds of Jawa junk from the slot machine before they nerfed it, so it's not really that viable anymore, hence why it's quite low down on the list. But it is a decent money maker. Everyone always wants purple crafting materials, you know, everyone's wanting things. I'm always after autoimmune regulators because I make implants and sell them on the GTN as well. They sell pretty well. But I guess, you know, everybody wants things like the purple mats. I can't remember what the slicing ones are called, but I know they're used for the augments, so they are quite high demand because everybody wants augments at level 60. So again, sell them on the GTN, trade your Java junk and punt them on the GTN, and again it's a steady, reliable income, because again, as long as your prices are cheap, as long as you're undercutting everybody, then you're going to be guaranteed sales. And bear in mind, you paid nothing for the thing. You paid real money because the Java junk comes from cartel items. So you get them from packs, basically. So if you do your hyper crate and you open the packs, you can get a bit of Java junk. The blue and the green ones generally aren't worth selling, to be honest with you. They're just not really that much. They're not really worth it. You do get the market is flooded with them, and they're so easy to pick up at end game these days. I mean, biochem mats are worthless. The green and blue ones are pretty worthless because they're so easy to come across, so I wouldn't recommend them. Do the purple ones, do the artifact quality ones. Right, number 5 is to sell decoration drops from flashpoints and operations. Now you can tie this in to number 3. It can tie in with the old hard mode flashpoints, because if you do the bonus boss in the old hard mode flashpoints, you will get a decoration drop, and again, selling them on the GTN brings in good money, because I did a old not an HM flashpoint, I did Black Talon, because I'm leveling an assassin right now, and I did Black Talon with my current assassin at level 60, and what I did was I did the bonus boss. I did it twice to get some level 11 gear, and I got the bonus boss down, and I got 2 of the I can't remember what they were called, 2 of the decoration drops, and they sold for 20k each. So it's not, and again, not huge money, but again, it depends on the decoration, depends how rare it is, and it depends on, again, the market value as well. So you used to make about 100k per item, maybe 120k should I say, per item. So again, it was one of those things where it does fluctuate from time to time. It all depends on demand, and it depends which ones. Again, do some research and find out. Try and look at the prices of different decorations and see which are selling for the highest. Ones that drop in flashpoints are pretty decent, actually. Bear in mind that every other player can solo these old flashpoints as well. So again, just be aware of that. And again, people soloing the SLS, I can't believe I sold them for 20k each. I got 40k for them for Black Talon normal mode. That's really good. I mean, that's a really good return on that. Bear in mind, it cost me essentially no credits to do those things, so that was a nice return for me, I think, personally. 40k, you're not gonna get hugely rich, but if you do that every single day, it's 40k a day, you know, adds up. You know, if you're maybe making 20 to 40k extra per day as part of your usual daily routine. I would make old HMs part of my daily routine. I always do that now. It's a good return on basic comms, it's a nice return on credits as well. It's like an extra daily area, essentially. Only it's half the work, basically, so you can just fly through them all and skip most of the trash. Obviously, if you're doing the bonus boss to get the deco, you're going to have to fight some of the trash, because you're going to have to complete some of those bonus quests. But anyway, that is my 5 kind of top methods. We haven't delved into things like crafting, because if you want to sell things like hilts and barrels, yeah, they do sell for a lot of money, but what you've got to remember is you're probably going to sink a lot of money into doing that. Again, you're going to have to learn, you're going to have to reverse engineer a lot of those barrels and hilts to learn them. So again, it's going to be time consuming, and it's going to be credit consuming, because you're going to have to buy them. You're maybe going to have to buy some, so you're maybe going to have to take a bit of a loss in order to recoup your money. So it is a bit of hard work to do that. This is just easier methods that we're talking about. Easier, cheap and easy. You're probably going to return more in the long term with that method, but this method, these 5 methods are quick and easy. So again, if you're doing the ops, doing flashpoints every week, just roll need on the decoration. Or I do. Most people, just say you don't have it, most people roll need. If you win one, maybe rolling need on a second one is not the best. Maybe it's frowned upon. But unless the raid leader tells you the rules, the loot rules in advance on decorations, then just assume it's free for all, because everybody else rolls needs, because they are good sellers on the GTN. I've sold quite a few of them on the GTN for, you know, reasonable amounts of money. You're not going to get millions out of that, but it is a nice little supplement if you think about it. It's free credits essentially for nothing really. It's very little effort essentially for doing what you're doing currently, and you're getting the reward for it. So anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon, and goodbye.